Let's go, let's go, let's go. You are officially in the Michigan Man Cave. Welcome to the Man Cave, your place for any and all things Michigan football. And we're back. Yeah, we took a week off. I mean, let's just call it what it is. What are we really going to say about Iowa? Like, you know, you wanted to get some info. There was a bunch out there. But we want to hop on with y'all when we got something to say. Everybody knew that beatdown was going to happen.
You knew it.
We're not really even gonna spend no time on that, to be honest with you. So we here to talk Bama. And you know what they say? Third time is a charm.
Is it?
So we're hoping that phrase actually comes to fruition and we can make it out of the first round, first game, the semis here in the playoffs. Because I'm just gonna call it what it is, man. And it's our squad, and we always say what needs to be said. If we lose again in the first round after going 3 years in a row, I think people are gonna start viewing us similar to the Buffalo Bills.
Can't
Hey,
make it over the hump.
good team, got there a bunch of times, can't win it. I hate to say that, but that's kind of how I'm feeling. Like, tough game. Obviously, we'll get into it. But this is our time, man. Heavily senior laden or upperclassmen laden class, I should say. We got our best quarterback that we've had. Arguably, our best season, probably even more so than last year. We were dominating. So it's time, man. I don't know how you feeling about this game, but talk to me, man. When you seen Bama flash on that screen, how'd you feel about it? I mean, first, how'd you feel about them getting in over Florida State? Let's start with that.
I was probably like most fans and was like, oh, they trying to J jerk us. I mean, I ain't scared, but I mean, honestly, you rather play Florida State, you know what I'm saying, given their QB situation. They're reeling, you know what I'm saying? Their momentum's down. Alabama coming off of a big win over Georgia, got the momentum going, but hey man, if you're gonna be the best, you gotta beat the best. And right now, Bama, um, I don't know how they do the voting and all that. But I honestly think the only reason that Bama got in over Florida State is looking at the QB situation. You know what I mean? Like, if that injury hadn't happened, there's no way Florida State doesn't get in. But I mean, I don't know if they factor that thing in, but it's my belief that they had to have.
Yeah, it is. They said
It,
that
yeah,
injuries are part of the.
a part of the
Decision
equation. Yeah,
process.
so that's the explanation. Then I mean, uh, we would have been highly favored. That's why I wish we had got that Florida State. It almost would have been a guarantee straight or straight shot to the national championship. I say almost though, because last year was supposed to be the same thing, and we ran into TCU squad. So um, that's why we play the games. But yeah, I would have rather drew Florida State just given that injury. But it is what it is now.
Yeah. King, you live down there in Florida. I
Yeah,
know you don't live in Tallahassee. You live in Miami, but
yeah. It's
I
some
know the
Seminoles out
outrage
here.
went statewide. I know the governor actually tried to pull some stuff too. I don't know what he up
Yeah,
to.
it's some Seminoles
He
down
don't
here.
got
But
pulled.
one of my coworkers, he's a Florida State Seminole, and I was like, dang, we would have played. You know what I'm saying? But no, he was up in arms about it, like just like every other Florida State fan. But no, yeah, the Bowie's point. I mean, any football like brain or mind would want to play Florida State. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was trying to act like, oh, y'all scared. Like y'all would have wanted to play Florida State too. And that's who we thought we were gonna get, you know what I mean, at that point in time. But it was a shock to everybody. Everybody was shocked. It wasn't like, oh, we're scared. It's just like, dang, like Florida State didn't get in. Like it's not who you expect to play. But I mean, all in all, like I'm not like Bowie said, I'm not scared, but this is who we gotta play, man. And it's put up or shut up. This is a legacy game for Harbaugh, and JJ. So
One person in particular I'm thinking about.
yeah, I mean, this it's like put up or shut up, win or lose. Like we need to win in Houston. Like we need to. I
Yeah,
mean Cali first, but I mean I
yeah,
was foreshadowing, you know.
yeah. I'm happy you brought up that because I feel like that was something that people kind of overblown as far as like when they announced it and they showed Michigan, like, oh damn, they were scared. They got drawn Bama. It was like I think pretty much a collective across the country, everybody made that noise when
Yeah.
Alabama came up.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody, if you would have went to just a random household and been like, I did the same thing. I was like, oh, like,
Yeah. It was a
wow.
natural like reaction to the situation.
Because they jumped Florida.
Yeah.
Or yeah, because they jumped Florida State. That's why originally why I acted like that, because they jumped Florida State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was expecting Florida State to be four. Undefeated, Power 5.
Never been left out.
Yeah, how Florida State to King's to use King's word is a legacy school, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily in it, but you know what I'm saying? They got a history of being in the playoff. Not in the playoff, but in the championship game, you know what I mean? So it was just surprising to see them get left out.
Yeah. And I think Jameis was in the playoff. That was a playoff. Was that the
They
first
won it.
playoff? That wasn't BCS. I'm pretty sure Jameis and them when they beat
Maybe.
Oregon, didn't they?
The first
You could
wasn't
be
that
right.
playoff joint.
Jameis versus Mariota, I think.
Yeah.
Is when I believe that was the first year of playoffs. I could be wrong, but either way, you're right. In Florida State, it's not like a non-known football school that just
Right.
kind of they've been down, but people know Florida State for sure.
Right.
But
It
I
ain't
mean,
like it was a Washington or Washington State or like a Oregon. Like, I mean, a known school, but
yeah,
they known. You know what I'm saying? They
yeah,
went to the Power 5.
Yeah, they got pedigree.
yeah, they got slight pedigree, but they ain't got no pedigree like Saban, Alabama, and I mean everybody I think would agree that Bama is the better team, right? So at the end of the day, I'm like, yes, of course, any team that was in our situation that would have rather said, yeah, I'd rather play Bama than Florida State with a backup quarterback would be lying, right? So,
Right.
uh, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to win a natty, bro, it's gonna be difficult. You know, you're gonna have to face a real competition, whether it's the semis, the natty, whenever you got to do it. You're not just walking to a chip, so it's kind of
Yeah.
like it is what it is, and we can hop into it. Keen, I'll let you start. And I mean, the big lead up to the game so far, pretty much all I've been reading, all the articles I've been reading is when it's speaking to our defense is how do you stop Milroe, right? He obviously started the year shaky, a little up and down. He actually got benched one game. I know people like to bring up that South Florida game when it was super tight.
Right.
But he didn't actually play in that game. They were trying to backups and they weren't any good. So he came back the next week. But pretty much since that week, he's pretty much gotten better almost every game for the most part, running, passing, and he's dangerous. I mean, you saw what he did to Georgia as well, and Georgia was supposed to have a good defense. So looking at us, which I do think this year specifically, not past years, we all know Georgia sent about 20 dudes to the league every year off their defense.
Mm-hmm.
But this year they weren't what they were. Were they still good? Yes. Great as they have been? No. So I think our defense is actually better than Georgia's is this year. So when you're looking at it, though, Keen, I mean, how do you want to approach this? It seemed like Georgia, to me, where they messed up, it seemed like they were almost, and I know he's a runner, they were like spying two people every time, which was weird. You usually have one person spy. They had literally both linebackers just sitting there. They weren't chasing nobody around. It was like, man, you losing a whole lot in coverage spying two people.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what do you think our approach should be
Oh,
when it comes
defense,
to
right? Okay, that's a good.
cooping up Milroe?
One spy because he's a runner. You know what I mean? At least one spy, and have him be. I think it should be like not a linebacker, a faster DB or something like that. You know what I mean? Like if we can keep him in there. I know they have one receiver out. I don't know Ja'Cory Brooks. I don't know if he's going to be out for the game, but he's injured right now. Actually, not even injured. It's non-injury related. So maybe that might play to us. I'll just say we're gonna have to pressure. We're gonna have to actually get pressure on him and make him do the wild shit he was doing at the beginning of the season. Make him throw those like errant passes or everybody says, oh, his deep ball is accurate. I don't you know what I'm saying? I make him throw that deep ball, make him throw that big shot. But I think it should be pressure, pressure, pressure. And then we got to rely on our DBs to play, not necessarily man, but they got to be able to hold their own when it comes to us getting to the quarterback. So he's not, I mean, he goes to Alabama, so it's going to be more on his name, but I haven't seen too much that we can't handle. You know what I'm saying? Like with Tua Tagovailoa, I mean, the Maryland quarterback, he was kind of a get out of the pocket a little bit. So we got a taste of it. I think he's more athletic than a quarterback than throwing. So we really got to watch him in the read option. Don't let that get going early. I mean,
quarterback run.
outside of passing, don't let them get the read option going. We got to have somebody that defensive end got to be steadfast in his approach of staying on the quarterback and not getting sucked into the running back. So I say pressure on when we feel like they're passing, when you have the personnel to pass, and then not letting that read option get going, not letting his legs get going, not letting and reducing big plays. So that's my
I like
take.
that. Yeah, I like that because it seemed like it was weird though. I actually like watching the Georgia game. They like either like brought everybody or they were dropping 8. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was really no mix up in it.
Between, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna either sit all the way back or we coming all the way with everybody. So I don't know, but I did notice that. But I for the most part, I'm with you on that when it comes to, hey, let's get some pressure on them. Like, don't, because even when there's 3 people rushing, they typically don't get home, and it's just too long, especially with a quarterback like that that's mobile.
They can take off and run,
yeah, they could just bounce around there for 10 seconds, you know what I mean? Because it's already hard to sack them, and now you're a lineman trying to get around 2 blockers. So I'm with you on that. I mean, I think it's obviously a blend of both, but
or hurt them.
But I think more pressure than pressure should be the game plan. You know, mixed in pressure, but not necessarily
because their run game is pretty good. They run more yards than us. So per game.
Yeah. B, I don't know if you want to add something, but go for it.
I just think we should use our depth. Do something that we haven't done a lot of this year, and that's use 4 down linemen and try to get home with 4, and use kind of like a nickel coverage with Sanders still being the spy on my boy Alabama's quarterback, and then we could have the rest our 3 linebackers play high low. Keen alluded to it where his deep ball isn't that accurate, so DBs drop, linebackers play that middle of the field. You 4 try to get home, and Sanders still you kind of rove around. I want to say like Peppers did. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily having an area to cover, but that's your man right there, and just don't let him break the big play.
Yeah, I like that. I actually like that. I like Sanders still on the spy.
Yep.
And typically I would say, I don't know about taking them out of coverage, but and not to say they're similar to Michigan. Like we like receivers ain't our strongest asset, right? Like Bama's got they got some good ones. Are they great? You know what I mean? It's no Marvin Harrison over there. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got Brock Bowers at tight end.
You can protect the DB with the coverage mindset of don't get beat deep. The linebackers are rovering in that middle area. So I'd say use one of our young guys and put them on the 3rd option because, I mean, Bama don't break out in a 5 wide often, you know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, they don't got the receivers. So I think we use that to our advantage, and hopefully Mentor has time to draw up something to where it gives this kid looks that he ain't seen before because I think that's where in the beginning of the season he was showing his youth where he hadn't seen a lot of this stuff. And as the season progressed, you just start to see it. So you start to get an understanding of it because he's only a sophomore. So, yeah, use his youth and inexperience and just try to confuse him.
Let's go, Jesse Minter.
Right.
Did y'all see who in practice leading up to who they got playing scout quarterback all week? Leading all
probably Orgy.
Orgy.
Yep. They said Orgy, and they're telling Orgy to dip
Stay
at
low.
all times, not at all times, but like don't be afraid to run.
When in doubt, run.
Yep. So I think that's a good prep because they say Orgy. I mean, he's probably not as fast as Milroe, but he's
Athletic.
fast.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's athletic, he's fast, he's strong. So I think that's a good prep. That's a decent person to have, you know.
Gotta tackle. We gotta tackle.
We got to tackle. Yep.
I've seen the Iowa game, the Ohio State game. We've been kind of loosey goosey on them tackles, man. We got to get the person down after that initial hit. The initial hit ain't just a shoulder.
Right.
Get that motherfucker on the ground.
Especially the team we about to play, Alabama.
Yeah.
If anybody got athletes that can take a hit and keep running, it's them.
Yeah. All right. And we're gonna talk more, but I just want to flip to obviously the biggest storylines in the games of this magnitude is quarterbacks, right? So, B, I'm gonna start with you on this one. When it comes to Michigan, us having the rock, Alabama, their defense has been a little bit not Alabama-ish of recent years as well this year. They did play well against Georgia. They did pressure Georgia. But when it comes to JJ, when it comes to even the offense, the way we're scheming it up, I mean, what do you think our approach should be? Do you think that we should come in with same approach that's been winning us games all year, or should we come in with we going for the win, like aggressive style? You know how, like, basically the way we a lot of times come out in the last 3 years have played versus Ohio State. We've been a little more like on the aggressive than let's play conservative until we got to kind of open things up. It was been more of like, hey, throw that flea flicker. You know what I'm saying? Do this, do like throw on rundowns. So what's your take as far as when it comes to philosophy? And then, just even what's on the line for JJ. He, like King said, it's a legacy game, man. Where are we doing with our offense?
I agree with you on a lot of those points, mixing it up between a variable of all that. But my approach is this is like King said, it's a legacy game, and I want to actually see Coach Harbaugh put the ball in JJ's hand. Say, yo, go win us these next 2 games. He's only got 2 career 300-yard passing games. This is out of our characteristics. This year, we don't have a signature win where it's like, yeah, JJ threw us to that win, or he carried us to that win. It's been the run game and it's been the defense. So all this hype we getting about JJ, and from the beginning of the year, him being in the Heisman and him winning them first couple games was great. They were against inferior opponents. So now it's time to give him the rock and actually say carry us if he's that guy. And that's what I want him to be. Will it happen? I don't have that much confidence in it, but what we have right now is a good formula with our run game kicking. But yeah, I'd really like to see that boy JJ live up to his hype that he's been getting all year, not just be the guy that doesn't cost us the game, but be the guy that goes out, takes the game, and wins the game for us.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's this notion that people do it both ways, but I think there's this notion that, hey, you run to set up the pass. But games like this, I like passing to set up the run. Like let's do it in that order. Because like Michigan's stereotype is, hey, smash mouth. They just want to run it. So teams prepare for us of stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. It's like, okay, watch this. And it's like we got the personnel to not have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, well, go ahead, B. What you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, like you said, pass to open up the run, and we've been tough on the backs this year. You know what I'm saying, in previous podcasts, and just I feel like I've been letting JJ off the hook. If you did pass more and opened up the run, you know what I'm saying, maybe our backs will have an easier time breaking those long runs. But when defenses can stack the box and put all those people in there and play us like they stereotypically know we gonna play, it makes it hard on that backfield.
Yeah. And Keen, I think that part of Well, part of people saying, I think we're still favored. I haven't checked the
Yeah,
line.
we're favored by it's like a point and a half, 2 points.
Okay, all right, so we are still favored. But the general consensus, man, when I'm looking online, is like it's over for Michigan, right? Like a lot of
I'm getting that same type of
yeah,
sentiment.
yeah, exactly. So that, even though that Vegas says otherwise, general consensus from just your non dog in the fight fan is like it's over for Michigan, right?
We didn't want to play them. We wanted to play Florida State. That's what they did.
Right. So, and a matter of fact, do you got their can you pull that up? Their schedule, man, because
Who's Alabama?
Bama, because they've had some close calls, and obviously they did beat Georgia, and Georgia, was the one team that kind of scared me all year. But in that game, Brock Bowers was all the way hurt, man. You could tell he wasn't right. And then their other best receiver, McClunky, the little white guy, he's cold too. He's like a little Julian
Edelman.
Edelman type of receiver for Georgia. He was hurt. So it's like their two of their best weapons were dinged up for the most part. I'm not taking anything away from Alabama, but I'm saying they caught them at the right time.
Right.
Alabama did play great, but you can't just glaze over other games that they've had. But they've had some close calls. Ken, I know obviously Auburn.
Auburn.
What was the score on that?
27-24. They caught that 30-yard fourth down or whatever last second.
Last second Hail Mary.
Yeah, that was an idiot play
Arkansas,
by
they
that
only won by
QB.
3 points. Texas A&M, they only beat them by 6. Ole Miss was 24-10. South Florida 17-3.
They're not the invincible Alabama, dog.
That's where I'm going.
That's far from that.
That's where I'm going with it, bro. Like, again, it's Alabama still, but it's not like that. And I'm hoping we learned our lesson, from last year. And I don't think the SEC intimidation factor is going to be there for us. We got too many older dudes. Right. We done played in a lot of big games now. Like, if we're better, we should beat them. It shouldn't be any intimidation factor. Now, here's the number one question. I'm gonna let you answer this, King. When you look at this game, and you're talking about pretty much 30 days for the most part to prepare for this one game. If there's one coach you don't necessarily want to see in that situation, it probably will be Saban. Like, let's just call it what it is. Like, he's the GOAT of college football coaching. He's like Coach K of hoops. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to beat Saban, dog, you're gonna have to bring it. So what you looking at as far as the coaching matchup? I know Harbaugh ain't no slouch. Harbaugh, unlike Saban, actually was successful in the league. Harbaugh know a whole lot too.
Yeah.
But let's talk coaching matchups, which I always say it all the time. And every time me and B are watching games, I say coaching matters a lot.
Big
Ask Penn State that shit.
Ask Penn State that. James Franklin, he done lost them plenty games solely on his shoulders. Franklin catches strays every show we have. But I mean, coaching matchup wise, how you feeling about this?
I think that's what it's gonna come down to. Is the coaches. Players can do all they can do, but everything comes from the coach. It starts there, and I just feel we need to break our tendencies. Like TCU said last year. I was looking at James Yoder. He's on Twitter. He does like a Michigan sports show, and he was talking like said TCU knew when Bredesen came in, they were running his way, or when they motioned a certain way, they knew JJ was throwing to some. You know what I'm saying? Like they knew certain things about us. So it's gonna come down to coaching and coaching his tendencies, and we got some bad tendencies, especially running the ball up the gut and all that. I feel like the Don should have a big receiving day.
Great point.
I feel like the tight ends should have a big receiving day because
they got good corners.
Bama's they got some all SEC corners. They got a second team, like I think safety or something. So I don't think our receivers They don't, you know what I'm
They
saying?
don't get open
They don't
sometimes.
get open.
Most of the
So
time.
the majority of the time they don't get open. So I feel like we're gonna have an advantage versus the linebackers with the running back, the Don, and the tight end. So coming off the tendency of running, I think we need to, like you said, start out passing that mug and don't go straight to Roman Wilson. Don't go straight to Corny. I call him Corny. Not that he's corny, I just Cornelius, but start off, you know what I'm saying, some bootlegs to the tight end, you know, get them going.
Screens.
Screen passes. I feel like the tendency
This is it, baby. We're gonna get a screen pass.
breaking the tendencies of the coaches, you know what I'm saying, of Harbaugh and runner, get it done. I think that's going to be key. I think that's going to be one of the biggest things that we're going to have to overcome because defense, we got them. I think our defense is out cold. I think we're better at defense. Our offense, it isn't high power, but it gets the job done. And if we implement these little things right here, like the screen pass, getting into the tight ends, which we didn't do a lot of this year. I feel like that'll be the key to winning. That coaching change, switching that up. So that's my take on it. But yeah, it's gonna come down to the coaches.
And B, when you're looking at, I think was it our third quarter stats, we've been making some hellified adjustments at halftime, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just, you know, Mentor on his own or it's a collection of all of them working together, but I feel like the real game might start after half.
We can't start off. If it's a chess match, I agree with you and feeling each other, but we can't go down. We're not a team built to come back by any means. Play from behind. But if it's a chess match and we don't give up points, that's where in the first half we have to rely heavily on the defense. Because I mean, when you look at it, we are pretty much the same team, a good defense with, you know what I'm saying, a steady offense. You know what I mean? But can't give up the big play. And that JJ mistake, man, and I wanted to get into it on my first little rant, but that JJ mistake, yo, he has to be decisive. It can't be that in between, oh, I'm going to run out, and then the ball's loose and he gets strip sacked or something. You got to either go or throw. You know what I mean? There's none of that in between stuff that he does.
You talking about that mistake in what game? Last year?
No, it's just his decision making. When we get on his decision making, you be like, Jay, slide, get down. Don't like that type of stuff. Your decision making got to be decisive and you got to be making the right decision. You know what I'm saying? It can't be that I think it was the Ohio State game where he was like about to pass it, then decided to go, and then they got a shot on him and knocked him out of bounds. It's like, bruh, don't do stuff like that. Either go or get rid of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Go ahead, King.
Real quick, to that point, to alleviate that indecision. Old dude on Twitter, James Yoder, he made a good point. Give him the Colin Kaepernick playbook, 2012-2011, read option. Right. We haven't ran it. We ran it one time and he gave it like it was wide open. I don't remember what game it was, but I think we all saw it. It was
a lot of games.
He still handed it off, right? So I feel like that. I mean, hopefully it was a
setup. They use all that.
It's been a setup, you know what I'm saying? So alleviate that indecision. Oh, read option, got the defense second guessing themselves about, they're gonna read option, are they gonna RPO, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we need a hell of a game plan, offensive game, but we can't do that. Bama's not gonna allow that run or done, get her done shit, bro. I don't think they're gonna allow that.
I don't think they're gonna allow that either, bro.
We gotta get the tight ends and the Don involved. You want your shine, Don? You want them touchdown? This the game right here.
Saved them all up for this game because that running it 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4, that shit ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna.
Yeah. So, what do y'all think about the potential X factor of little Samaj Morgan? He's been slowly and steadily every single game making a big play or two. So is this the time that we actually, if I feel like if we do pull out one of these little trick plays, somehow have him involved, because it's like, we got an eye on him, but it's like he's not like a regular staple of the offense.
Right.
But he is dynamic. So I'm thinking that somewhere, somehow, we slip one of those, you know, even if it's the jet sweep, to having him go into a pass, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, you know, we only run like a few plays with him. They do a jet sweep or like that little
Screen pass.
yeah, that little receiver screen, stuff like that. So, like you were saying, Keen, they looking at tendencies. They say, oh, okay, 82's in. We already know what's coming. It's gonna be that quick receiver down the line pass, or it's gonna be a jet motion, whatever. Like, what if we finally just, hey, we know you know our tendency, so we're about to show you our tendency, and then not really give you what you think you're about to get. Fake the pass, and then send
Small
somebody.
ball, deep
Yeah,
ball.
yeah, something like that. So
At least, even if it is not a completion, it loosens up their defense and has them second guess. Like, what? They ain't never in that shit. What's going on? Like, it have them second guess instead of us playing like run, run, run. Oh, we didn't get the pass. Now we got to punt and rely on defense every big game. You know what I'm saying? I don't
yeah,
want that this game, bro. We can't have that this game.
yeah. And I'm thinking that we need to try like, I always love it. One-on-ones, and B hears me say it all the time. He probably gets tired of me saying it because I'm like, one-on-one with a DB blanketed on a guy ain't necessarily blanketed D when they head is turned. They're in chasing. Hey, man, all right, everybody else locked up, throw it behind them, work on it with the receivers, come
Come
back
back
through.
to the ball. Yeah.
Get them flags, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a PI, or it's
Then
gonna be
that'll at least make them scared. You know, I mean, like second
Yeah.
guess passing. You know what I'm
What
saying?
I'm saying, dog. We got to take them shots. We got to trust our receivers too, that they can come back through the ball. And if the DB does actually do some NFL stuff and turn his head and play the ball and all that, that we there to knock it down. So I just don't want to see, oh, everybody's covered, chuck it out of bounds and punt. Like, hell no, one-on-one downfield. Go ahead, B.
On that Samaj, bruh, I give it a four play setup. First play, you motion them or get them in a position where you see, you know what I'm saying, how they gonna react to it. Do that 3 times, and then the fourth time, go over their head. I would like to see them motion him to see where the linebackers end up playing him. Like, I want him to be one-on-one with a linebacker. But to King's point, if the linebacker then takes him, or if the linebacker stays off of him, a corner goes, and the linebacker gets on our tight ends, then our tight ends eat. You know what I'm saying? So 4 plays, you know what I'm saying? You can set up and see how they gonna play it, and you can take advantage of it. But he definitely need to be involved in the offense, you know what I'm saying? Just how he been playing.
Especially with Donovan in the backfield. If he's the back there, and then we bring Morgan in and we mess around and motion Donovan out, it's like a linebacker has to guard somebody.
Right. Yeah, let's get on them linebackers.
A linebacker has to guard somebody. And if they ain't man-to-man, we got to take full advantage. If they in zone, then you should take advantage of that too. Know where the holes are. So
you should have no problem eating up a zone at this stage in your career, JJ.
right. That's what I'm saying. We've struggled with man-to-man. So
right.
That's your mismatch right there, off rip. So we'll see. So far, we're working up a pretty sound strategy here, I think. We got for Milroe, we're going with a more pressure than non-pressure type defense. Mix it up, but more pressure. Pressure should be the theme when we're done with this game of Michigan heated them up.
Focus on that read option. Focus on the read option.
Yep. Pay attention to that read option. And then since we're not as scared of their wideouts as maybe a different team, we're willing to pull Mike from some coverage responsibilities, especially on obvious passing downs, to maybe drop him down and do some spying, because he's probably one of the few fast enough people that can actually is a good tackler too.
Right. Yep.
You can't Will Johnson back too, so.
Yeah, well, we need, I don't think he's comfortable doing all that. Mikey.
No, I'm just saying, like, we can rely on, like,
oh yeah, we'll be back. Yeah, in coverage, right? Yeah, for sure. We should be solid in coverage, right? So, they got what's his name? Burton. I think the receiver they got, he's pretty good. The guy that transferred from Georgia, he caught a touchdown versus Georgia, his old team. I think it's Jermaine Burton, and then I think he's number 3. And then what's the other guy? Watch out for him. He looked pretty good at receiver.
Bond.
17.
Yeah, Isaiah Bond.
Bond looked pretty good too. I think he's the one that caught that Hail Mary, ain't he, versus Auburn?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had a good game versus Georgia. So, but they didn't look like that. You know what I mean? It's like good receivers. I've seen better though. So definitely got to give them respect, pay attention to them. I probably like Burton the best. Burton, y'all probably don't know this. When we went to that Georgia Michigan game, when we got smacked in Miami,
Miami.
I think was that Vincent Smith? Remember him? That corner we had, was that Vincent Smith number 4? That corner we had, light skin, tall corner a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, that we was all excited about. And he was supposed to be the truth.
And then that last year, he was just kind of like,
he was out there.
Vincent Smith. Vincent Smith was the running back,
That
wasn't
was
he?
a running back, yeah.
Who was Vincent Gray?
Gray,
Yeah, number 4. He played DB. Anyways, in that game, I think I want to say, was it the first touchdown or early touchdown? Vincent Gray, of course, fell down on a fade, and Burton's actually already scored on us in a playoff game. That's when he was playing for Georgia. So I hope they remember this and say we owe you one, bro, for getting down on us last time. But anyways, I think he's a super solid receiver, and Bond. I haven't really seen too much from their tight ends, but
no, it tapers off after those two. Bond got 620 yards, Burton 777, and then it goes to 321. The next person, Knee Black 84. I think that.
So I again, I wouldn't recommend man, but that should make the coverage and the secondary's job a little bit easier, knowing that. I mean, you really only got 2 people to worry about.
Yeah, and Will's gonna be on one of them for sure.
Right.
So, and I mean, and Marvin Harrison got his versus Will. The thing I liked about Will that he did in that game is, like, even though he did, I mean, he got the big pick. That probably was maybe the play of the game, honestly, to just out in front with a lead. But even when Marvin was getting down on us, he wasn't never just cooked. You know what I mean? It's like, you got me, you got a little separation, but I'm here though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too far behind, bro. You ain't hit me with one of them double moves where I just spun in a circle and ain't know where the hell you went, like Marvin Harrison did a lot of cats this year. Most teams that he played against this year. So he got his yards and all that, but I like to see where a DB is. Sometimes you see just a good route, good pass, you in solid position is, hey, it is what it is.
As a true sophomore, and you played against the best wide receiver in college football,
best wide receiver prospect ever.
I think he did a wonderful job, because all those yards don't mean shit if you ain't putting nothing up on the scoreboard. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'll give you your yards for the win.
Yep. Oh,
you can have that all day.
You can have as many as you want, as long as I could break an NCAA record. I don't give a damn. Yeah, fact. All right, so our game plan is coming together. I believe special teams wise, we should have an advantage too. Turner's been hitting some big field goals.
Mm-hmm.
He hit what, 3 versus Ohio State. I know he hit 250s, I think, versus Ohio State. If I'm not mistaken. Then our punter too, man. Punter been down and stuff.
Yeah, inside the 10 and all that.
Yeah, inside the 10-yard line. And then third, for the most part, these are things outside of this offense, defense. We don't make a ton of mistakes and we don't get a ton of penalties. So as long as we are consistent with all those other things, and those are like more controllable things.
Yeah.
That's huge in the game too. You don't make the big mistake. So I forget how many. I heard something that said we only had like. I think Jada's only had 1 pick since that game. He had 3 picks. I think versus Maryland, he picked. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember if there's any others. None are coming to mind. Maybe he had 1 more, but
he only got 4 picks. He only got 4 picks.
Is that it?
Yeah, he only got 4 picks.
So he only had 1 pick since that 3-pick game versus Bowling Green, which was kind of just like an outlier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Glad we got that outlier out the way, because last year that outlier was against TCU.
Right. So yeah, I don't know much about Alabama's kicker, but and their special teams and all that, but we need to take advantage on all those other fronts as well. So we got a plan for Milroe, offensive wise. We said we're coming out, being aggressive, passing to set up the run, heavy pass game with the backs, specifically Donovan.
Yeah.
You know what we're gonna do with Blake off rip. And then advantage special teams wise. But go ahead, B. You want to add something?
I would add just about Morgan. I would because he's a young guy. I would harp on
Ball security.
Special teams can change the game in two ways. You can mess up and it change the game in their favor, or thinking about Desmond, you know what I'm saying, Des Howard and Charles Woodson, it can change the game where you can make a name for yourself. So I think he would be he's going to be a big factor special team wise, where we would have the advantage in that aspect because he's an explosive cat. So just put it in his mind, man. You can make a name right now, but just make sure you take care of that rock.
Yeah. And Alabama, they're dealing with. I mean, they got some things going on. They just got a player get arrested.
He need a penicillin shot.
What happened, B?
Bruh. We had a player that was suspected of doing this a long time ago, and you know how I got on his head. But at least what our player did was an accident, dog. This dude is walking around knowingly spreading STDs around campus, dog. Like, if I'm on the team, I'm ready to fight this nigga, dog. Like, because you could be infecting somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a slippery slope with that. But yeah, the player got arrested from slinging that Dirty Johnson all over Alabama's campus.
Dirty dickers, boy.
I don't want to play with you, dog. Like, I don't know what you would do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's grimy out here in these streets,
hey,
man. Nah,
a coach can only look at you and say, you're not accountable.
Right. Yo, insides ain't hurting. I mean, you know you got it.
Cottage
cheese. Man. I don't know. Like, bruh. So that means he had to have given it to somebody, or somebody thought they had something and they told him, like, look here, you need to go get tested. He didn't. He continued to bang bust. And then that person was like, yo, you still ain't been to the doctor, dog. Like, I'm like, man, I can't be around no Negro like
you
that.
Ain't supposed to be doing that when you burning like that. You know, you ain't supposed to be having sex.
And that's why they came and picked him up. Anyway, was that dude? He
was an offensive lineman, so that messes up camaraderie.
I'm wondering if he actually like started or was a real player. You know what I'm saying? Or was he just
you gotta come into my office? Sorry, son. We just gotta let you go.
How you go home and tell that's the reason you're sliced?
Right. You can get away with that in the JUCO, but not at Alabama. We're a nationally recognized program, bro, and that can't be a stain.
Oh man, so yeah, I guess I don't know if you're looking up Keenan. Was he a starter on their team?
Yeah, I'm trying to right now.
But
walking around with a misdemeanor in his drawers.
Hey, I typed in Elijah. His name came up right away. Oh, did I put him on blast? Fuck that.
Oh, anybody with a phone and 2 thumbs can figure out his name in 2 seconds.
And we know you're dirt bagging. You're not even strapping. That's just a dangerous individual. You're societally dangerous.
Raw. He's a raw beast.
Somebody muzzle that dog. I could go for days with that. That's terrible.
And he put his name in the transfer portal and he removed it 5 days ago.
Oh, they probably
he was about to go to another college campus and spread that dirty dick around.
Right. Hey,
it's not saying if he's a starter or not, but
they knew he was gonna fail his piss test, so they was like, "Yeah, you can't enter the portal."
Oh no, it's a starter for a top 25 program, given measurable strength, and so it says he is.
Hey, bro, what's all this chunks in your urine sample, man? What's going on?
Oh, he's a 5-star Alabama O-lineman. Plans to enter transfer portal 6 days ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's before or after he caught the clap.
Oh, well, he probably wasn't playing then, because otherwise, why would you jump in the portal if he was about to start Natty or in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? So,
so that's how it happened. He had extra time on his hands to go fertilize the campus with the gift that keeps on giving.
So he played in all 13 games, taking part in 95 offensive snaps. So yeah, he wasn't getting.
Oh, bro, stomach is hurting. He did what, Keem? My bad.
He played in all 13 games, taking part in 95 offensive snaps, so he wasn't getting no burn. Oh,
Oh,
pun intended.
He was giving burn, just
You like
not
what I
getting
did there?
burn.
Heat him up.
wow. All right, y'all. Let's move it. Let's move it along here. Are we coming back? We probably won't be back with them. I'm trying to figure out if we need to make our predictions, and we're not about to make predictions now, but I'm trying to figure out if we're gonna be back again before the game. Maybe an impromptu one.
And then probably, yeah, because it's the holiday season.
Got time.
Everybody got their thing
So
going
we
on.
won't make no predictions today. I'm sure there'll be some updates prior to then too, things that done came out, things that have been said. So that's just where we at for now. We'll get another one to y'all before the big game for sure. But we'll just let football. Well, actually, before we move on to hoops, I do want to talk early signing day yesterday.
Mm-hmm. We had about 24 commits.
Yeah, was it 24? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 24 signed already and early.
The dude Yoder, he did a little whole 3-hour thing on it.
Oh, okay.
Not early, but that's total right now committed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But we had a decent amount actually signed yesterday, early sign. I know Jaden Davis actually signed. I believe I read that correctly, and obviously that was like the biggest,
our biggest commit.
Yeah, well, even as far as just the future of the program, you know what I'm saying? You never know. You always worried about that quarterback more than probably any other position.
And JJ said he don't know his future. You know what I'm saying? What it holds. So,
hey, King, that's because these next two games, or one right now, is going to decide his future.
Oh no, it says all 27 commitments signed on early signing day. 27. The Michigan Wolverines have put together another impressive class in 2024 cycle, signing all 27 commits in the class.
Word.
So people are priming to go early.
Yeah,
they want to get on. Hey, they want to get on campus and start practice.
Yeah, that was 22 hours ago.
And we had a couple flips too, a couple big flips. I know we flipped a D lineman, I think from USC, who was a big flip.
The defensive tackle.
Yeah, yep. He was a big
Pele or some shit. Like, what was his
name? He had a weird name, but he was like big time USC hard commit, and then we flipped him.
David Pele.
Is David Pale?
Whatever.
English is a messed up language.
That's the American way to say it.
English is a messed up language. I was trying to take it to an exotic place. Pele.
Right. And then I feel like one of our other top best recruits is that running back,
Jordan Marshall.
Marshall signed. So I mean, we got like our dogs all signed from what I've seen. You know what I mean? So I like to see that. It's a commitment. So, it's not just words anymore. You sign an early signing period. That means like, hey, I'm all in.
Right.
And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these dudes enrolled early. That's signing.
That's what they do. That's what you do nowadays. Yep. You're trying to get up there and be able to practice.
Yep. So trying to get a head start on everything. Especially Jaden Davis. That would be huge. Did y'all see those rumblings about Dante Moore potentially was coming to Michigan? Quarterback from UCLA, the Detroit kid who
went to Oregon and they got the kid from Oklahoma too.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what he was thinking with that. Maybe he actually is just like, bump it. I need to actually take a step back one season, get developed, and then like that next year just come out, kill it,
transfer again. No, it's fine.
Yeah, no, he'll probably go hit the league after that.
Hit the league.
Yeah, I mean, really, all you gotta do is go crazy 1 year. I mean, look at Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying? He had one.
Shoot, that's the ideal situation. You don't want to kill it and then come back and then drop your draft stock.
Yeah, for sure. But I thought for a second we had a decent shot at him. But y'all know what the stop hole was from everything I read. So other schools was
that bag.
The bag.
Oh yeah. We got too much what do you call it? Lore to be offering a bunch of money. Like, you want to come here, you're gonna earn money, but we ain't about to just give it to you.
Yeah.
I was listening today though. Florida State lost the 5-star safety from Georgia for Buford. He had verbally committed. Yeah, he had verbally committed to go, and then he said he left money on the table to stay home at Georgia.
Mm.
Kirby was like, hey, look here, 3 years, I'll have you in the league. And you say that about going to Florida State? They lost some of their luster, but they still powerful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Going back to that argument of them being jumped over.
Yep. All right. So anyway, let's move on to hoops, man. This is
Ain't much to talk about.
starting to become like a little Groundhog's Day-ish with this team, man. To me,
no identity.
what I see is enough talent to win some games this year.
Yeah.
But not everybody, but cats ain't playing the role that fits their games. And that is what's killing us. We can't close a game. I mean, we lost to Oregon on the road by a couple points. Should have won that game, had that one won. Just lost to Florida in that Champions Classic, another game we should have had. I mean, there's others. I mean, we played a lot of tight games this year. Our record could be much better. I mean, we could have 3-4 more wins easily.
Easy.
And Keen, I think you said it, man. The identity, Jawan, I ain't ready to let him go, but I'm starting to like move more towards that door. So I don't know, bro. What you seeing with this?
I mean, to his credit, he just came off heart surgery, and you know what I'm saying, his first game back, I think it was actually Florida. But at the same time, there's like
I think it was the game before that versus
McNeese or
Big Ten. There wasn't a big. Yeah, I think it was a week.
Oh, Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, Eastern Michigan.
But like when I look on the court, man, I just see like people playing outside themselves and not doing what you're supposed to do to help win the game. Now Dougie, get him the rock. You know what I'm saying? Get him the rock. Let him work. Let him orchestrate this motherfucker.
Everything.
The kid Olivier, like he be doing wild shit all the time. Like just like low IQ basketball stuff. Like pulling up when I remember one time Dougie just hit like 3 in a row, bro, and he decides to do a pull-up jumper. It was versus Oregon too. I'm like, my man's just cooking right here, fam. Like, get him the rock back. Like, what you doing? Like, and then oh boy, Burnett, he hasn't found it yet. He's a former 5-star recruit, and he hasn't played like it. Early on, he was looking good.
It's a reason this is his third school.
That speaks to that too. I mean, early on, I was like, dang, he might be able to help us, but like you said, like
he got talent.
The running motto for this team is, for me, is they can't find their identity individually. People need to find their identity, and then that'll just play out as a team, and then we'll find their identity. But if you don't know who you are as a player, you're not going to be able to help the team.
Man, that's powerful right there. You got to know who you are as a player.
AB, that sounds like a real high school basketball coach.
I'll be in awe sometimes. Just like what? Like,
not much to add after that, bro. That says it right there. But they just remind me of, this is for all my gamers, man. If you play 2K and you go into the rec, that's what it reminds me of, dog. Like just like you said, nope. Everybody's trying to be the man, but nobody you ain't the role. Man. Yeah, nobody has a role. It's just wide open basketball. Like you said, heat check. A man hit 3 in a row, but I got the heat check. Somehow his fire came to me, and now it's time for me to take a heat check. That to me is low basketball IQ, and that to me is like, it's selfish. I haven't shot in a long time, so I need a shot now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not team basketball. Train, I'm with you. It might be time for a change at the head coach position. But at the same time, I'm giving him a little bit of a pass because he hasn't.
I'm just closer than I was.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying I'm giving him a pass because he hasn't been there because of his whole health situation. So it's hard for them to take on his identity when he ain't there. You know what I mean? So,
but this ain't the first. Remember, we missed the tourney last year.
Yeah,
and also I want to talk about last year too, because I like Hunter Dickinson, but at the same time I didn't like Hunter Dickinson because he vacuumed like the whole offense. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm trying to give us some time to acclimate to not having him and not having that big black hole in the No pun intended. That big black hole in the middle of the paint, you know what I'm saying? Backing down, backing down. And he started to step out a little bit and shoot later on in the season last year, but people have to find who they are, and that's that
He
big boy.
vacuumed it and wasn't
Yeah,
dominant.
yeah, right.
You know what I'm
Yeah, he
saying?
wasn't
Like,
dominant. He should have won like player of the year type stuff, but he couldn't even he wasn't even formidable against
Best option we had.
But yeah,
that's all you can do is what you can do.
And I think I don't know if he's doing so hot in Kansas right now either. But
Dickerson, he getting down.
Yeah,
that's neither here.
they rank #1 in the country.
That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, he balling. I mean, that was probably, it was good for both sides. You go get a bigger bag. We kind of hit reset. Like, we kind of know what this team is going to be with you throwing it down to you every time.
Right.
We ain't got the talent around you. But yeah, man, I mean, it's a bunch of dudes I see with talent. I really do feel like we got better talent than what our record reflects. And that's why the only issue I'm having with coaching. Our defense is terrible. That's first and foremost.
Oh my God. Don't even get me started on that. We like damn near last in defensive rating, bro. Like,
bro, have you seen
we 2K? As long as I score, I don't really got to play defense.
Bro,
like,
have you seen
it work?
We score a lot of points. We just can't stop.
We give up a lot.
Yeah, we're probably
not
like
a good recipe.
Highest scoring teams, I would say, in probably the Big Ten for sure. We got to be up there. So we don't.
The Florida game was 106 to what? 101.
101.
That's a lot of points for a college basketball game.
Yeah, I mean that was double overtime, but still, it was a lot of points regardless. They were going to be in the 80s probably regardless. So the defense is terrible. Kamwa, man, what I tell y'all in the chat? I said every time this dude tries to, here's Kamwa. That's what I'm gonna say. Everybody don't stay in their role. Kamwa, jab step, pull up threes. Okay, I live with it. Okay, whatever. Or 3-point shot. Just I'm okay with you shooting a three. You got a decent three. I'm okay with you for the most part backing somebody down. Like when you catch it on the box, you got that little turnaround in the middle of the paint. Pretty solid shot. He can do it over both shoulders for the most part. One thing I never want to see you do.
Put the ball on the ground.
Putting the ball on the ground from the 3-point line, thinking you about to get to the rack. He has an 88% turnover rate when trying to create off the dribble to get to the rack. Terrence Williams, same applies to you. Now, let's give 3 Willis credit. He's played much better this year.
Yeah.
After last year, he fell all the way off. Like, remember, he couldn't even hit a shot. At least now, he's back hitting the 3. He plays hard. He still can't dribble for shit. But I'm fooling with T. Will this year. Like, I like he's somebody that's actually for the most part playing his role.
Yeah, he is.
You can always fool with effort. You know what I'm saying? And just get smart.
Yeah, T. Will's playing pretty good, but even the other dude, Trey Jackson, bro, the dude from Seton Hall, bro, my man's a 6'10", crazy athlete, no hoop game.
No hoop.
Bruh, he can't shoot. He can't shoot for shit. No 3 ball.
Everything is like, oh shit. Oh, he made it.
Yeah. I mean, he's solid like when he gets in around the rim, you know what I'm saying? He can finish at the rim and stuff like that, but he can't create. Don't like him. Burnett, you could tell he looks like he's trying to get to the league, like the way he plays. Like, did you see at the end of that Florida game when it was like tied up with like 8 seconds left? I think it was in overtime. Juwan should have called a timeout, and Burnett just comes and does like a sidestep 3 and like barely hits the side of the rim. And it was like Juwan was looking like, bro, what the hell is this? And he should have called a timeout anyway, so I blamed it on Juwan. Once you seen him cross half court with the rock with 8 seconds, you should have been raging to the ref. This man's about to do some foolishness. And
lo and behold, that shot? Do you practice that shot?
And lo and behold, what did he do? Did a sidestep, fall away 3.
He did a James Harden, but left the Harden. He just did a James.
Yeah. Right. It was
James.
It was bad. And then, of course, second overtime, we
fumbled the bag.
Yeah, no defense, letting these cats get to the rim. That will. It's just like, man.
What makes this bad is like our defense being so bad. I saw a video of them training with those bungee cords, and they were all like linked to one another
together.
And you think we'd be playing some good defense, but I think it had the opposite effect on us. Like We need the bungee cords back, I think, or some shit.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you who looks terrible coming off an injury, who we was expecting to be halfway serviceable.
Llewellyn.
Llewellyn, I don't like him. He hit a 3 versus Florida, but you're not getting off the hook that easy, sir. Llewellyn, don't like Llewellyn. He looks a little shaky with the rock. He looked like he ain't all the way healthy, honestly. Don't like him. I want to see this freshman, man. The freshman, he was about our highest recruit who came in last year, George Washington.
Yeah, George Washington, yeah.
But he got in a couple games early this year. He looked shaky, but I'm
Shaky
like,
as hell, yeah.
Yeah, let him.
Hey, get his feet wet.
He was in high school last year,
and he wasn't just okay. He was crazy nice all through high school. I think he won Gatorade Player of the Year, Ohio. Like he got some talent. I hate that he wears 40, but whatever.
We need to go. We need to start giving the ball more to Reed. He's been balling these last 3 games.
Yeah.
He's been in double digits last 3 games.
Yeah, I like Reed. I like Reed a lot. He's playing big body out there. And Cheddar, man. Cheddar's been playing 10 times better. Cheddar got in our last game, he came in and did a bunch of fouling, but for the most part, I like what Cheddar got going on too, man. So
he didn't have his moments.
Yeah. I mean, Cheddar, they said shooting like 50% from 3, 55% from 3, bruh. That's insanely high. So, anyways, we'll circle back to these guys. Who's next on the schedule?
The 29th we play.
What was it? Kent. It was this is a team we should beat.
McNeese State.
McNeese State.
Oh yeah, that should be
R.I.P. McNair.
He
went to McNeese State.
Oh, word.
Titans quarterback back in the day.
Fun fact.
He went to Alcorn State.
Alcorn State. Pull my card. Trap card. Hey, one of those black schools.
Hey, McNeese, McNair, you confused.
Alcorn State.
Yeah. So we got McNeese State. What we looking like after that?
Schedule. Let me see. We got McNeese State. Then we go Big Ten January. Start January. Minnesota, Penn State, Maryland.
Penn State, Maryland.
Yeah, and
there's no rankings by any of these teams until we get to Illinois.
I was just about to say the Big Ten is kind of whacking hoop this year. So it's like we can still make the tourney, bro, but we got to make a little run, dude. We got to go on like 5-6 game winning streak, man. Like, come on.
And this is the time to do it, especially during conference play.
Yep, it's the time to do it.
So I ain't gonna count us out yet, but the way that we find a way to lose games, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about our tourney hopes. So
confidence is low right now. I ain't gonna front. They can change it, they can turn it around, but people just have to find out who they are as players in themselves. Like a coach can tell you who you are, but you have to accept that, and you have to know that you're that player, and not think you're somebody else.
Yeah,
I hear you, coach.
It's just frustrating, man. It's frustrating though when you actually have enough talent to win. That's the frustrating part. You know, if you can
run a 2-man game with Terrence Reed and Dougie all game. All y'all get outside, y'all sit out. We're running 2-man game. Dougie and Terrence Reed, pick and roll. John Stock.
Come just go spot up in the corner, bro.
Spot up. Burnett too. You might find yourself over there in that corner.
Burnett, yeah. And Burnett, remember versus Seton Hall, he had like 17, 18 points in the first half or something crazy.
I was like, oh, we're gonna be all right this year. Regression.
Yeah. So, all right, man. We never did circle back. We started a new score prediction. Last game, that Michigan Iowa Big Ten championship. What was them scores looking like, Keen? I really have no
26-0 was the score of the Big Ten championship. You know, we dominated. Train, you was at 35-3. That's 32 points. I was at 31-10. That's 21 points. And B was at 35-6. That's 29 points.
Oh, he got him. He back. He's back.
Didn't even know.
He was waiting for the final tally of the votes.
Randolph Mortimer.
So we started over, or is it 6-5-2 now?
No, hell no. That's 1-0, dog.
He was teasing me.
Well,
so 0-0-1.
I just know I ain't got no homework to do after this. I don't care how y'all do it.
Oh, who was closer between me and you, King? What you had?
I had 21, you had 32. So you were 6, I was 5.
Mm.
Sting
All right,
a little, don't it?
Sting the nostril.
So 0-0-1.
0-0-1. Yep.
Your
All
boy
right,
just brings out his best games in the playoffs, you know?
Okay. Problem is you wouldn't have made the bowl game.
Right. Nigga would have been on the sideline with the right shit.
Gone fishing.
All right. B, talk to me. What's happening on the Wild Wild X?
Oh, I'm still in my defense mode. You know what I'm saying? I'm the defense attorney on the X. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always defending this article, and it's mostly them hating ass Ohio State fans, man. But
Always.
it's been really heavy on the recruiting. You know what I'm saying? People following the recruiting. So just talking about that. We looking pretty, like y'all already mentioned, we looking good as far as, you know what I'm saying, the people we are going after, we got them to sign early. So they'll be on campus early. But hey, man, freedom of speech act. I love it. You can say what you want to say on the X. So come our way on the X.
Sir. King, talk to us. IG, what's popping over
sir.
there? I see you go back and forth with a couple of clowns on there too.
Yeah, man. One dude tried to get me blocked and stuff, man. I was just like, let me calm down. But no, at the Michigan Man Cave podcast on IG, I've been trying to dibble and dabble in the meme game, you know what I'm saying? Step my meme game up. That usually gets a lot of attention on IG. But no, yeah, halftime, you know what I'm saying? We're going live, especially halftime this game. Gotta go live. But yeah, hit us up. I'll be on Twitter a lot too. Like it's wild over there, man. It's wild over there. I'll be posting from Twitter on the Instagram. So, you know, so I'm intermingling a little bit, but no, yeah. Clowns, and it's mostly Ohio State fans just chiming in, trying to put their little 2 cents in.
They salty right now, bro. They all like,
they are mad.
Y'all
bro.
still haven't reached where we've gotten. It's like, bro, just take your L right now.
Bro, we beat y'all 3 years in a row. Like, let's talk about right now in the present. Let's not go back on the last 20. And then they only show you, they always only want to give you up until like 2003. And then they say, oh, nothing before that ever happened. Like, I'm about to be 40 damn near. So that happened to me.
Right.
Whooping y'all's ass.
That's
David Boston, you know what I'm saying? Only game I really remember like us losing, like back then, the big game was that when we were number 1, or they were number 1, we were number 2, and Crable hit, who was that quarterback at that time? Out of bounds.
Troy Smith.
Yeah, Troy Smith. And but after that, that's when it really kind of like changed. But yeah, man, at the Michigan podcast on IG. Hit us up.
Argument has switched for me is now that we got the 3-peat, now they like, but y'all don't got no chip though. It's like, yo, in that time, y'all got 1 chip, bro. Out of all that, you being dominant, you got 1.
Yep.
They hang their hat on it too.
So, anyways, all right, we're going to get up out of here. If y'all ain't got nothing else for the greater good, we're going to catch y'all next week. It might be a short one, but we would definitely want to tap in with one last update prior to the big game, Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all, where we're going to come correct this year. So, if we don't talk to you before then, make sure you chop us up on Instagram or on the X, and we'll see y'all next week. Killer Kale, take us up out of here.
Go blue.